Alright. Jeskai Control. We played Jeskai Control recently in Historic, and I'm interested to see how it feels here in Standard as well. We've got a variety of sweet win conditions here at the top end of our curve. We've got Inspired Ultimatum, Yidaro the Wandering Monster, as well as Shark Typhoon. Two of these win conditions are excellent because you'll see here when I lay out the curve of my deck, these can really be 2-mana cantrips as well, which is quite excellent. Between these cycling, Fire Prophecy, Omen of the Sea, we've got a lot of cards at the bottom end of our curve that allow us to churn a lot and see a lot of cards out of our deck. You'll note when I look at my mana base here, pretty much every control deck I'm playing that has access to a Triome in this format, I want a minimum of 27 lands in. I think it's even reasonable in a deck like this where we have two decent castles here in white and blue castle that it might even be correct to go up to 28 lands if you're into it. So, hey, Mari, thank you for the 37 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Jeskai Ultimatum is a card that I've been pretty pleasantly impressed with. While this does get hit by Aether Gust, it's a little expensive. The fact that we get to play Teferi Time Raveler means that this is frequently easier to resolve than some big spells would be in non-Teferi decks. Post-board, we get cards like Shock, Aether Gust, Dispute, kind of all the smorgasbord of reasonable things. I'm going to go ahead and hop on into a couple of ladder matches with this one and see how it goes. This is the most standard decks I've had in my deck editor in some time, chat. Something worth noting in here, too, is that the 3-2 for 3 white companion is technically a free roll in this deck. We meet the requirement for it, but I genuinely don't feel like having a random 3-2 for 3 in games is worth giving up one of my 15 sideboard slots for. Like, the amount of impact I expect a random creature like that to have is lower than I think the impact of an extra sideboard card in best of 3. If you're playing this in best of 1, it's a super free roll there because you don't need your sideboard. But I think in best of 3, it's a real consideration. Yeah, I think that's comparable, Pentreon. Even Theros didn't have this much excitement around it. I think even myself personally, I didn't have as much interest during that standard format, and there's definitely more now than there was previously. It's sweet. I really like the mechanics of the set. Both Companion and Mutate have been fantastic to play with. Excited for the tournament on Saturday, which is great. I also think that there's a chance that the tournament that we're having is drumming up a little bit extra interest in Standard 2, which is obviously one of the goals of running tournaments in Hoaglandia. Is people who have things to look forward to or things to practice for are more incentivized to engage in content. Really interested to see what we'll send out a sub survey probably early June after we've done a few of these opens to get a feel for what people are subscribed think about it. After talking about it a little bit, we've decided not to stream the open on a delay. So I thought about it a bit, and and the primary goal of it is to make content. I know $150 in store credit is a little bit of something, and like maybe we'll consider doing a short delay if we do more than that. But honestly, if Cool Stuff Inc. gives us more prizes than that, I kind of think 150 in store credit for first place is probably fine for a pretty free tournament. And if they give us more prizes, I'll probably just flatten the prizes out. I really hate how top-heavy Magic tournaments are on average, and I think having a flatter price structure, especially for like what I'm looking to do, makes a lot more sense. Having a flatter price structure encourages people to be honest about things too. Like, if you're the feature match, please don't be string peeking. But, well, I mean, like, as it goes to, like, there's going to be people who are subscribing with the express purpose of playing in the events. I like the idea of one of the nice things about capping the tournament at 256 players is I can predict how many players of each record we're going to have in any of the given tournaments. So like, for example, for the Hoaglandia Open this weekend, if you haven't looked at the page, first, second, and third have their own individual prizes, but past first, second, and third, I'm just giving out prizes based on what your final match record is. So like, everyone who's 7 and 2 is going to get the same prize, everyone who's 6 and 2 is going to get the same prize, etc. I think I really like that structure. I know when I was playing a lot of tournaments, I would have preferred a prize structure like that. And one of my goals is to do with this tournament series what I wish TOs would have done when I was playing. Yes, you are allowed to stream your own matches on your own channel. However, even if you are streaming to Twitch, you still need to broadcast to the Discord upon request, because all of our setup is going to be for the Discord server. Correct. It's not possible to ban people from viewing the stream. Like, even if you could ban an account from viewing the stream, they just open it in an incognito browser or log out, right? This has never really been a super spiked channel anyways, so I think flatter prize structure and make it more of a community-focused event as opposed to a we're playing to win super hard event is probably ideal. I know my responsibility. Yeah, exactly. And my Cool Stuff Inc. rep said that, like, if these are successful and they see, you know, traffic from it and we have good viewer numbers consistently, they'd consider giving me more credit and prizes, and just having it be flatter seems fine. Yeah, also, someone else mentioned it, but I'm going to do some random door prizes for people that finish 3 and 2. So keep that channel meme alive. Thanks for the 1.5 years, the Fred. I appreciate it. Welcome back. You see a notable jump in subs when you announce this tournament. Well, my sub count is a little bit high at the moment, but that's also to be expected for the cycle in Magic that we're in. So, like, everything about streaming Magic on Twitch is cyclical, so viewer numbers and sub counts are at an all-time high right after a set release. Why not wait on the board? Why? Because I'm dumb and I wasn't thinking about it. You're right, I had Teferi Plus and I could have done it on their turn. 27 lands later. I'm gonna go ahead and just neutralize their threat here, I think. Like, we're stumbling, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot, right? We got a lot of answers here. Can I make a book one of these days? I don't know. People really want to read about my life. It's not particularly interesting. I don't leave my house much. I think I'm supposed to pay that and do this because it gives me a chance to hit my land drop here, which is ideal. You just let me know if you're up for round 2. I don't know, Android. I don't know that those are problems yet. I want to play some games before I make changes like that. I think having the resource efficiency on the shocks is a big deal. So I'm leaving those there for now. So that's a 3-1. I'm gonna go ahead and make a giant shark here. Hope you're holding 2 counter spells in your hand. This is another card, so like I mentioned this earlier, and we're still gonna play a couple of blue-black flash decks, but like the more I play with and against the blue-black flash deck, the less I become convinced it's a competitive archetype. Like it really feels like it struggles. We even drew this here, which is great. Good to go ahead and pass. Your content makes quarantine bearable. Thanks for the 3rd of year, Phantom Eric. Hope you're staying safe out there. Goodbye, friend. And now we're just like, in run, it's Godzilla territory. Run! It's Godzilla! Hey, did you have a counterspell? Or you didn't too? Yeah, playing a black, and blue cards is also tough. Is that the 4th one or the 3rd one? Just the 3rd one. Rough. Well, poop. I think it's right to make them have it there, but feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. What are we doing in chat that I did not? Yeah, let's not. Don't talk about people like that. Stop it. You should know better. Don't talk about crappy people. Crappy people thrive for attention. Alright, so let them scry before we do this. Oh, you know what? I should probably Godzilla before doing this. Although it worked out here. Alright, this is 9 mana. So I think I just do this now and hope that Justice Strike keeps me alive. And they just, like, activate Castle Vantress here. We're so far ahead. Run! It's Godzilla! Get him! Arrgh! Chunky boy. Chunky boy. Do they have any creatures that don't die to Justice Strike? I think the answer is no. Yeah. What do you think of Temur Mutate? I think the Temur Mutate deck's sweet. The Temur Mutate deck could very easily be one of those decks that just doesn't age well as the format gets older though. Still waiting on the Yeva reprint. Thanks for the 24 months, PDP. Alright, so we want to Justice Strike this in response to its trigger, because otherwise they'll gain 3 if it has lifelink. Okay, are you dead? Ah! We should have done it pre-combat, chat. We should have done it pre-combat. Punted. Why do they gain 3? Because Justice Strike has the creature deal damage to itself. So if the creature has lifelink, you gain life. Looking for a removal spell here. If they have like Heartless Act, they can kill my Godzilla. Looks like a no. 1 is not none. Saturday stream will not be on a delay. Negative. I have a hard time keeping Narset alive. Gonna have a hard time resolving Conquer's Death or Ultimatum. Leaving 1 Veto in's probably fine. They have some non-creature counters. Bring in Disputes and Shocks. This is definitely just to kill all the things matchup. I want to try and keep the board as clear as possible. As the game goes long, with threats like Godzilla in our deck, we're incredibly favored to win the game. Any advice on how to narrow down a deck choice? I have it down to 3, but they're all fun and having a hard time choosing. Roll a die. Have your child pick. Play the deck that has the most borderless cards in it. Play the deck that you like the aesthetic look of the most. These are all good pseudo-random ways to choose your deck. Oh, I think that link is actually bad now. Page not found. Yeah, I changed the URL. I was updating my website the other day. This is no good, right? It's missing our second white and has no cheap interaction. Sure. You can make the tournament 500 in a couple months and it would fill. Maybe. We'll see. If we hit the 256 player cap, maybe we could consider expanding. Does anybody know offhand, when you're doing double elimination, does adding the extra player, does it just increase the round count by 1, or does it do more than that? I actually don't know the answer to that question offhand. Oh, maybe I should lead on the Triome there, so I could cycle on 2. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to lead on the Triome there. It should just be 1. Yeah, I don't know. 11 rounds is such a good number. We'll see. Thoughts on cutting all these cards and playing Winota. My Winota. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The Jeskai Winota deck on the website is gasoline, by the way. Give me a cap is probably fine. We'll see how quickly it's filling up, too. Like, if it's the type of thing where, like, it's not filling until the morning of, I think that's fine. Magic players can just, like, prepare better in advance. Yeah, I think MTG Melee does support a waitlist too, because the chance of people just like not the chance of people not checking in the morning of is real too. That's true. I believe their site supports that. So I shocked in the red source here, so I could do exactly this. Shock a Slitherwisp and still cycle Godzilla. Event coverage for the tournament will start at 9 a.m. Central on Saturday. So they know about Shark Typhoon and they know about Shatter the Sky here. Today's been fun, Lucas. Yeah, had some good sets. We played 2 different historic decks this morning that were sweet. Had a couple of good standard runs. Actually, standard's been a little medium so far today. This one looks like it has potential, but the first couple of decks we played weren't too great. Apparently, it's like really, really nice out today. And Christy's like, I swear your children are the only ones that don't want to go outside. And I was just like, well, you know, they are my kids. Wasn't much of an outsider myself growing up. Aren't I an Eagle Scout? I am not. Christy and I met through venturing, but I never completed the Eagle Scout thing. Christy and I, speaking of the outside, Christy and I were talking about taking some of our dollary dues we had saved up for other things and getting a playground installment of some sort in the backyard once stay-at-home orders are lifted this summer. I think even once stay-at-home orders lift, I don't think we really want to be going to, like, public parks. They're kind of gross for a little while. So getting something like that set up. Give them something to want to do outside more. We're fortunate enough to have a backyard that can do it. I just hold this on defense for now. So, I think I just killed both their things here, right? The question is, do I want to bottom the Shatter or not here? Is it crazy to bottom the Shatter? I feel like it's not. Maybe it is. I feel like I'm looking for, like, a threat or something. Another Shark Typhoon. Yeah, like, Shatter's pretty unlikely to resolve, and shattering any threat they play requires us to take a hit from it first. Like, I think it's necessary and stays in, but I don't know that I really want it here. Yeah, it's really kind of appalling. I saw the stats. This past week was the first week in the United States that the death toll didn't double from one week to the next. And, like, the fact that, like, that just barely happened and now they want to open stuff back up is just wild. Mystic Dispute drawing a little bit dead here as the game goes long. Maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive with this. Correct, the Yak lives. There's like a 2-week delay around every decision with this thing. So like when you make a good decision, you don't see the benefits for 2 weeks. When you make a really bad decision, you don't see the drawbacks for 2 weeks or more. Thanks for 3/4 of a year, Doomsayer. Welcome back. Shock the Shark to counter a Borrower? I don't think so. I think I'd rather they have to spend 3 mana and play this later, and then I can shock it. Yeah, White Castle looking great here. Like I said, I think there's even an argument that you could go up to 28 lands in these Jeskai in a lot of control decks in this format and play 3 castles. I think 27 lands with 4 triomes and 1 to 2 castles like the minimum for control decks in this format, and I would consider getting to 3 castles and 28 lands for sure. This is actually potentially going to work out great here. So we get to shock this, and then if they play Borrower, we could dispute their Borrower here. Oh, you know what? This is wrong, because they're going to play 2 spells in response here, right? I should have just passed priority to them and done this on their turn. This is super wrong. I'm going to get blown out here, and I deserve it. I was playing well up until this point, but if either of these cast here along with the Borrower, we're super dead. Yes, I should definitely be waiting for their upkeep to do this. 100% should have done that on their upkeep. I'm going to hold a land for now, because the land can be used to cycle with Fire Prophecy down the line. This guy fires deck in the queue with 30 lands. Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. Send me up. Yeah, the borrower's like impossible to race, basically. They're playing around Mystic Dispute really well here also. Really need a Shark Typhoon. Should have kept the shock to using the Borrower? I don't know. It's like our average card is so much better than a shock at this point in the game. I think it's right to bottom it. I know it feels like extra bad to like bottom a shock in that situation and like flood out completely and die, but like I think it's still the right decision to get rid of it there. If I attack first and they have a counterspell, we just lose the game. If I attack first and they have a counterspell, we lose the game. Whereas, like, if this resolves, I still have a castle and they have nothing. So, like... Yeah, pay 4 and draw a card. Come on. Rats. Rats. Like, hit them for 2. Hitting them for 2 doesn't really accomplish a lot. And then, like, they have good attacks the next turn. Like, I'm not dead, but they have good attacks then. Which I think makes it not worth. Man, where are my Godzillas at, chat? CTG Medic, thanks for the quarter of year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They had to go. Go, go, Godzilla. Oh, no. They say he's got to go. We've cycled 1 Godzilla. There's 1. No number over here means 1. In peak Flash player fashion, my opponent's timer warning that they've been taking a long time has now popped up. They have 12 minutes left. I have 20 minutes left for reference. This is game 2. I'm up a game. It has been like a long game, but they're also playing pretty slowly on top of it being a long game. The arena timer is basically infinite time though, so like pretty unlikely that they get punished for this. I think the arena timer is like 5 to 10 minutes too long on average. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. I cut this Veto. I'm gonna leave 1 Jeskai Ultimatum in my deck. An opponent died of clock damage in a match. Isn't that just like misery incarnate? Like, you don't even feel good. You don't even feel good when you beat someone to clock in this game because like they wasted a half hour of your life. Mono red players are, the meme is they take forever the turn they finally kill you, but generally speaking, I don't think I've ever heard the meme that they play. They take forever in all of their decisions. Flash players are what traditional Magic coverage would describe as methodical. Methodical. I would just like the record to reflect that people who are methodical on Hoaglandia coverage, they're going to get a mark next to their name. They're still going to be allowed to play, but they're going to be lower on the priority for feature matches moving forward. I am incredibly biased against slow players. Huge, huge, incredible bias. Alright, so I need to find a way to kill this, because otherwise they're going to start drawing cards with it. You love to see it, chat. So the hope here is Shark Typhoon will cause them to use some mana inside of on their turn, and then we'll get to untap and shatter. Are they ghosting us? It feels like they're ghosting us, right? Like, I thought they played really well around Dispute last game, but like they attacked it every other time. So, like, they're just, like, never gonna attack while I leave Shark Typhoon mana up? Is that the plan? Feels like the plan, right? I shocked in there so I could shock this and still activate my temple. My castle, whatever it's called. I don't know, they're probably not. They're probably just scared. It's probably just a lot of fear in their dojo. Yeah, sure, right? Like, as long as I leave up castle, I just have fog? Until they have a thing? Sure. How am I fighting no Dream Trawlers? I don't think Dream Trawler is very good right now. I think a lot of the decks where you want Dream Trawler's type of effect don't really exist in this format at the moment. It'll be our second Godzilla there on top of the library. It's not bad against the 6 mana card that gets countered by Mystic Dispute for 1 mana. You don't think is bad against the Flash deck? Like, you're right that, like, when it resolves, it's good. But, like, when it resolves is, like, pretty unlikely. Yeah, we talked about that, Zach. I know, like, so many people think companions are the end of the world, but I genuinely am not... I genuinely don't think that losing a sideboard slot for a random 3-2 is very good. That could be wrong. It's definitely something you'll want to test, but... yeah, like, sideboard slots are super valuable. Like, there's a bunch of different, like, pseudo-combo decks in this format, basically. I think losing a board slot is less free than a lot of people are making it out to be. Getting to 1-for-1 that card is incredibly satisfying. All right. What are the odds? What are the odds I'm supposed to race here? Probably 0. I think I just want to go long. Let's just go long. Oh yeah, draw those cards. Let's do it. You love to see it. Their timer is at 8 minutes. 8 minutes. supposed to keep the White Castle there. Ooh, that's a good one. We have 2 Godzilla cycles. Have you ever gotten to cycle the 4th Godzilla? Not in this set, but in general, yes. Number of times. So they know about this Shatter. Okay, so this card that they had is not a counterspell. Because if it was a counterspell, they probably would have played this out. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Hey, thanks for the 7 months, Rebel Lawyer. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What if I make a 2/2 here and hold up Neutralize? I'm gonna make a 2/2 and hold up Neutralize. I mostly want to eat the Spectral Sailor anyways. And like I can cycle the Godzilla with my mana here. All their flash spells are uncounterable, sure, but a lot of their instant speed cards aren't flash cards. So like I can counter their counters. I wouldn't want to counter a creature anyways with the sweeper in my hand. I see some folks chatting about vintage and vintage. Vintage being vintage. You want to hear the easiest called shot in the world? They'll probably ban a companion in vintage before they ban Mishra's Workshop. Easy called shot. Jeff, that's cheating. They'll never ban that card. Ain't that the truth? Ain't going nowhere. Yup. Might be dead here. I bottomed a White Castle at one point this game, and that might have been wrong. Opponent's played really well. Can I find a Godzilla, please? Because it's super lethal. Alright, I'll take a Neutralize. I did not, Pure Punker. Someone said he was talking about Splinter Twin, so I assume it was related to that. I'm pretty big pro unban the Splinter Twins person. Those both sound great.
I've done the hero thing before.
One Godzilla, please. One of your finest Godzillas, please. Oh no! They say he's got to go. Go, go, Godzilla! Run! It's Godzilla! Run! The doom! It is inevitable! To me! To me! Unban Shahrazad. Shahrazad's gonna stay banned in Vintage because they don't want to program it into Magic Online. Almost assuredly. Crunch. There goes the neighborhood. Was that our first match with this deck? We've been playing this deck for 50 minutes and that was match 1. that was the first match, right? I mean, our opponent took 26 minutes, like... Our opponent had 4 minutes left on their clock when that match ended. You cycle another card. This deals 1 damage to each opponent. Okay. $27 lands later, chat. Sick.
Let's slow this down. Let's try this.
Alright, what am I doing here? I think it's probably just Fire Prophecy. Do I like all of the cards in my hand? How about the Neutralize? Enter another land. Okay, probably in the market to cycle this.
Don't worry, I got this.
Alright, so I think I just pass here. And then my plan is we'll let Teferi take a hit. And then we'll let Teferi take a hit in combat, and then at end of turn, we'll shatter, so the board is guaranteed clear. And then we can untap, shock this in, Narset, plus have our cycling land up.
Time for plan B.
You just lost to a Yorion deck by naturally decking out. That's hilarious. Kinda funny. Goodbye, friends. I was playing a cycling deck last night and managed to beat triple Narset and it felt great. Nice. We do have to worry. There's, the 4-mana spell deals damage to players too, right? The what's it called cards? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Xena's Flare. That's the one. Whoo! Whoo! It's getting hot in here. Do. Alright. If they don't kill my boy this turn, we get to give them the ultimate countdown. For the 19 months, Ghost Stalker. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh yeah, you kill that Narset. You get her dead. She gone.
That's more like it.
Your move, Yugi boy. Good luck, Godspeed. That's their second Godzilla cycle. Their deck's definitely better at getting back to Godzilla than we are. Although we can just start casting ours for 7 here, which is nice. If they don't play anything out worth killing, we're just going to go ahead and ultimatum their face. Hey, been having success with Sultai Control. That's how you deck to a Yorion deck. Okay. Yeah, the Sultai Control deck's been sweet. I agree. One of the many great ones up on the website. Okay, okay.
I've got it.
So we have 7 mana total at the moment. I guess we're just doing this. Got to discard the hand size here. Pretty unlucky. So probably shattering this when they go to attack by Teferi. Maybe I should just shatter it on my turn. Well, the upside to waiting to shatter is if they Godzilla us. We can shatter the Godzilla off the board. Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Zenith Flare? What if instead we didn't? Hey, keep calm. Thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Glandia. Been a good one wherever you're at. I'm gonna do this. If we draw Godzilla, we could cast it. Neutralize sounds fine. Kind of into that. They are on 3 Godzilla cycles here. What? You know what? We take those. Oh, they must have just had something to do. Okay. Sure. I felt like we were favored there. Real life must have just happened. Yes, it's probably fine. Notably here, the opponent is playing Yorion, and the average Yorion deck is a little bit slow, so I think this hand could be speculative in the dark, but the fact that we know our opponent is probably playing more of a mid-range slower deck makes this hand super reasonable. Although I guess you could also maybe make the argument that against Yorion, Teferi's bounce effect is probably a little bit less good. I look at the schedule. I don't see MTGO that's on this week. Have I missed anything? Since the greatness of Gyruda canon. Yeah, Gyruda is currently banned in all formats on Magic the Gathering Online, is what you missed. So, a bunch of the companions are super bugged on Magic Online, because Magic Online is Magic Online. So I'm waiting for them to patch those issues. Did anybody know? I think they were supposed to have a patch today. Did they fix their crap? Did they get all their crap together in a box and pack it all up? Maybe put it in a backpack, keep it all together? Here we go.
Hone your prowess.
Hey, Sirix, thanks for the 3/4 of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. So we have Conqueror's Death to eventually take Narset or one of their other big plays off the table. What if they're just straight... Not straight blue-green because they have a Teferi of their own here, obviously. Sure, BAMP stuff. Do you know if Moto was coded in Assembly or Cobalt? Asking the real questions. Okay, Omen of the Sea is actually a decent pickup here because they haven't played their own Teferi yet, so I'll get to deploy this next turn and draw a card with it still around their Narset, which is wonderful. Feels like this might be just a 7-mana Godzilla game pretty reasonably.
This isn't a fight you can win. That's more like it.
How old is MTGO? MTGO would be eligible to vote in the upcoming election in the United States for sake of comparison. So I'm going to go ahead and go Conqueror's Death, exile your Narset, Teferi bounce by Conqueror's Death. Because that's a thing we're allowed to do. The first time I installed Magic the Gathering Online chat, I installed it from a CD and I downloaded the updates on dial-up internet. No joke. It was on a CD-ROM, and I used my dial-up internet to download the updates. I remember assuring my mother for many hours that they would be done soon. That was a lie. They were in fact not ready to be done soon.
This is hardly my worst defeat. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
I was kind of hoping to draw a land there in my 27 land deck, but, you know, it is what it is. Do I expect them to have counter spells in their main deck? I kind of don't, right?
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Well, that's pretty disappointing.
Those who cannot just meditate and prepare.
You could cycle Sharknado on their end step to attack Narset instead of playing Omen. Then if you drew a land, Conqueror's Death could kill Teferi. Sure.
You are my
Those are technically legal lines.
I have practiced.
Man, is their deck just like doing what our deck is doing, but just like bigger and greedier? Feels like we've brought the smaller weapon to the table.
Might be a bad idea.
Feels not great. Let's hit Planeswalkers. Only creatures. Gross.
I must train harder.
Yeah, we have Godzilla, but like running people down with Godzilla doesn't really look like what this matchup's about to be about, right? The fact that we've like stumbled on land drops here has been really devastating too.
I've got time.
Like if we just had like mana to cast our spells, we might be okay. We just haven't. Leave in a Shatter in case they have Dream Trawlers, probably. How's this deck been? Alright, we haven't played much with it because, like, our first match took 50 minutes. And then the second match, we, like, got deep into game 1 and the opponent conceded the match. They must have had something come up. This is only, like, our third match in almost 2 hours. Or an hour and a half or whatever. Wow, we really jumped up. Welcome to everybody that's hanging out today. Almost 2,800 people in here. Hope you're enjoying IQR cards still. Probably gonna add another deck after Luris Adventures. I've got a couple more prepared. Season 1 pulling up the Hoots command for the open event on Saturday. If you're someone that was thinking about signing up for that event, you should definitely do it sooner rather than later. That event is capping at 256 players, and there are currently 238 players enrolled in it. So probably gonna hit the cap there. Remember, the only requirements to join are you have to be currently subscribed to the channel, and then you also have to be able to have a computer capable of broadcasting your matches to Discord upon request. You should make sure that you are able to broadcast your matches. If we request that you share your screen for coverage and you are unable to, you will be dropped from the event regardless of what your current record is. Until Wizards gives us an official replay client, that's going to be a hard requirement to play in these open tournaments. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Binks put up $500 in store credit for it, so that's sweet. Yeah, it's sweet. We got pretty close with Historic. It'll be interesting to see to track. I kind of expect these... I'm kind of expecting the what's it called? I'm kind of expecting the standard ones right after set release to have a little bit more people in them than not.
Here goes nothing.
We'll see if that ends up being true or not. Magic hype is usually highest right around set release, so probably all it'll work out. It's like 21 months, Sailor Dark. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Teferi generating the ever-stimulating, interesting gameplay that he does here. All tournament. Can you, Greybeer, can you ping Krillydactyl on the subs Discord server and let her know that page is all her? Which is why there's so much information there this time compared to last time when there was almost nothing. my wife put all that together. She's gonna be the one managing the actual tournament stuff day of again.
Stop that now.
Gosh, the games involving this card are such a stain. They're so dry.
I'll protect you.
The focus and the thoughtfulness before action. If you wish to surrender now,
There's like a really bad joke I could make about paying my wife in exposure, but I'm gonna let it go, okay, chat? Okay, don't go there, okay?
my mind needs a rest. Oh,
That's for the OnlyFans account. Yeah, if you would like to be paid in exposure, make sure you're a tier 3 sub so you get access to my private Snapchat.
Here we go.
I'm gonna be done here. Let's try and find another match. This seems pretty hopeless. Their deck seems far greedier than ours, and getting Teferi down while we have a handful of counter spells does not feel good. Is it tier 3? Where is the Snapchat? Shh. Easy mulligan here. Yeah, you too, Doc D. Good luck with the rest of your ladder matches today. Your deck seems way greedier than ours. I don't think we really had much of a shot. Fuzzy Kittens, thanks for the prime support. Well, this is where the magic happens, as we say. This is where the magic happens. Hey, we won off of a 4-card hand in Historic earlier today. That's great. That's the joke, Benevolence. Not a Shark Typhoon, more like a Shark Drizzly. Yeah, something like that. It's raining sharks, and they're tiny, such tiny sharks. Tiny sharks. Doo, 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 doo. I think I'm far enough behind that I need to, like, wait and hope they play out some more threats that I can get value on the Shatter. But even then, like, it's value. Like, the Kruga, if it comes down, it's going to draw them cards. What if we, like, Shatter and then, like, go land into cast Shark Typhoon? I don't know if that's good, but there's, Hey, Coach Berg. Thanks for the 15 months. Last I checked, we had a few slots left still. Where are we at? 238. Refresh. 240. 16 slots. I'm trying to grow a beard during lockdown. How long before you could tell if you could really grow it in? About a week or two. you should know. About a week or two in, you'll know where that's heading. Oh, we're dead, right? They just go land Kruga, Kenrith kill us. We are pretty dead regardless. Gosh, my kingdom for a search for Azcanta, huh, chat? Feels like one that I miss. Hey, Mr. Baugh. Thanks for the brand new sub. I appreciate that. Is this a matchup where I want Shatter the Sky? Most, thanks for the 22 months. Welcome back. You not have to have a deck list to register for the event. I believe deck lists are due 7 a.m. at 7 a.m. Central on Saturday. Double check the event page, though. I feel like this is an event where, like, if I feel like I need to Shatter, things have probably gone too far. That's not something I'm interested in. I probably need to keep Godzilla in as a way to close the game. They could have War Boss in post-board. Okay, that's fair. Yeah. It's a real concern. Man, yeah, I think I'm pretty off this deck. I don't know. It's just, the last couple of matches have not felt good. Yeah, they have to give up their companion for rubber, but there's a pretty good chance that they're... Pretty good chance that they're going to do that, right? And they don't mind doing that. They don't have to cut their companion for War Boss. Maybe they just do that instead. I just feel like their deck just has so much random value and bombs in it that, like, eventually we get run out. Not having any, like... I feel like this deck, like, playing it and, like, running out of gas in the mid-game, like, not having any real card advantage feels awkward. Like, we don't have any, like, Chemist's Insights or, like, Teferi Time Ravelers or stuff, or Teferi Hero of Dominaria, stuff like that. Is it possible to change your companion post-board? Yeah, if you meet the requirement for a different companion, you could swap to it. You can only have one companion active at a time, though. The problem with these Jeskai decks kind of feels like they, what's the word I'm searching for? They don't really do well when your opponent gets down onto the board, unlike the Sultai control deck that we've played, where like has good quality removal in it. I think I'm just cycling Neutralize here. Like looking for, I don't even know what we're looking for, if I'm being honest. I guess kind of that. We can put a 2-2 down here in a second. Yeah, I definitely think my favorite control deck we've played. I'm off it. I'm off it. We're just dead because I didn't hold up Mystic Dispute. Right? We just got done talking about War Boss 2. Yeah, I don't know. These control decks that don't play to the board just feel really bad. Like, comparably to the Jeskai control deck that we've played in Historic, I really liked that one, but I don't know what it is. I feel like without like real card advantage, it's hard to get ahead and pull ahead once you 1-for-1 a bunch, and then like there's some tension between Shatter and having counter spells. I definitely like that. Do I have Sultai control in here still somewhere? Where are my eyes? Did I delete it? I might have deleted it when I was cleaning up decks the other day. Anyway, there's a Sultai control build on my website that I just like. Greatly prefer the look of that to what's going on here. Yeah, there's no good way to win the game once you take things over. You just sit there and spin your tires for so long. That's the articulation. This deck doesn't have a good way to close out the game. And because we don't have great ways to close out the game that we find super consistently, we don't have any card advantage either. So like, once we 1-for-1 a couple of times, I don't have a way to get back to my cards that win the game without like Chemist's Insight or Hero of Dominaria. And I feel like I just like sit there and spin my tires too much. And then like, the flip side of it is like, the fact that we lost to like the Yorion decks kind of makes me feel like, well, what is my deck doing, right? Like, if there's other people that go up over the top of me, what role in the format is this deck trying to fill, basically? How long am I expecting the tournament to last? The winner of the tournament on Saturday will be playing for approximately 11 hours, is the expectation. You expect to play, the winner of the tournament will play 11 matches. All right, what are we doing? We are going to move on to something else, something a little bit different. I actually really like the look of this. Up next, we are going to play some Abzan Adventures featuring Luris the Dream Den here in the companion slot. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get my client restarting, get my deck list updated on the Stream Decker and stuff like that. We'll be back in just a few minutes with this one. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to add Blue-Green Genesis on